Hey,
Hello?
what's up, guys? Oh,
Uh,
crap. Jumped up the intro. All right,
don't
we'll
worry, we'll
start. We'll try
fix
again.
it.
We'll try again. Guys, welcome back to your dad's favorite podcast. It's only been 3 months exactly, but we're back.
Yeah, we're
Um,
back.
it's been way too long. No one really cares because
I mean,
gone. No, no. We kind of. I didn't announce this to anybody.
yeah. Nobody announced this. Nobody asked for this. Nobody wanted this, but
To you anyway, because that's the kind of people we are.
yeah, that's exactly what we are.
Been
So
in the
yeah,
past few months, Dylan. We've lost a couple good ones, haven't we?
yeah, we have. We have
Um,
our good old pals. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, shit. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, there we go. So we've got our man's Stefan Carl Stephenson over here. Stanley, Steven Hillenberg. So,
and like as a kid, I loved Lazy Town. I feel like I see because I'm not a huge presence on social media. I never use it, so I never really got to say how much like Carl Stephenson like kind of took like the L here.
yeah,
But it was I was upset. I was really upset because Lazy Town was like really awesome as a kid. My favorite character was like what was his name, like Stingy or something. And he was just like everything was his, and he was a huge dick.
yeah.
Like
That that was
I
that
don't
was Stingy. Stingy was the huge
know.
asshole.
And then there was the kid who really liked like all the junk food and candy and stuff. I don't know.
Ziggy, yeah, the fat fuck.
Yeah, but I don't know. I loved Robbie Rotten.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
Contra
everybody
Kid.
did. I used to watch him
Gone.
as a kid, and it was one of my favorite shows. Like when I heard it was on Netflix, I mean, I fucking watched that. I mean, even as like maybe like I don't know, I was like 12 or something like that when I rewatched it, but it was a little bit childish, but I mean, for somebody who grew up on it, it was like, oh my god, the memories just kept on flooding back. And
I watched this summer, like on a Saturday. Like nobody was around. I didn't go to a theater. It was just like on Netflix, and I watched Cars 3.
uh-huh.
Like, and it was like, and now I see it in like, oh yeah, movies for like 5-year-olds. I'm like, well, wait, I watched Cars 3. Cars 3 was tough.
Yeah. So like it's
Always on Discord.
and I mean like everybody watched this as a child. Like I don't remember a single person or well, at least I don't know of a single person who didn't watch this and didn't mourn his death. Like he was even as a meme, like he became a meme for the new generations. Like nobody watched it. We were the first generation to watch it, so in that
Yeah,
respect, we have more of a memory on him. Like especially my cousin. My cousin was like, "Oh my God, Robbie Rotten's the best," and she's a memer, but I knew him as Robbie Rotten from the TV show, not from the meme. And I mean, he was revived by the meme, which meanwhile helped him with his cancer, like helped him get it treated and everything. And
it
yeah,
raised, it raised awareness. Oh, it was so sad. Rest in peace,
yes, rest in peace.
Stephen Carl Stephenson, aka Robbie Rotten, and then of course Stan Lee.
Stan Lee was a very big hit to everybody. I mean, Stephen Carl Stephenson was important to the meme community. Stan Lee is important to everybody. Like, I mean, to at least
Dude, Stan
superheroes, to like the
was one.
superhero
I saw this one.
fanatics.
Good.
Oh no, you go. Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, I saw this one thing where it was like it was like where it was like dying at a young age from an overdose on drugs, and then it was like a picture of Stan Lee like living your full life and impacting many people in a positive way, living out your entire career, and that's what I respected so much about him. He just wasn't like was like a cool dude just writing comics, and then like I don't think I'm like either you were creativity or someone close to you was like there was nobody that he didn't touch. It was crazy.
Yeah, even like I remember I'm a DC fan, right? And I was impacted by him. Like I watch DC more than I watch Marvel, and DC not only said like yeah, we lost a good one. Then they said Excelsior, like you have to have some real balls to impact your enemies, the people who you see as like company enemies, and to mourn their loss at their death is really like he impacted everybody. Like no matter who you are, you felt some sort of loss.
Yeah, it's crazy. I never grew up. Growing up, I was never much of an Avengers guy or a superhero guy. It was just like, no, that just wasn't really for me. But it was like the only like I watched Infinity War. I felt kind of bad that I didn't get into it sooner.
Uh-huh.
And I just started kind of learning about the whole universe and all that stuff. I'm not gonna say I'm an expert because truly I am not. But it's like I don't know. It's crazy that like
One
in
guy.
comics can create like this massive like,
Universe.
and then of course the creator of my favorite cartoon of all time. I'm not gonna say it's the best. I'm just gonna say it's my favorite.
Rest in peace, Stan Lee. But I mean, nobody hit anybody more than Steven Hillenburg. I mean, Steven Hillenburg
Gary's
was,
disease, dude. It sucks.
and not only that, but it was a disease that was a fad for a long time. Like it wasn't the disease wasn't, but like, I mean, like trying to prevent
Dude,
it.
I
Like,
remember when I pretended to have ALS to be cool.
yeah. But I mean, no. When I heard, I was on a field trip. I was going down to VCU for a field trip, and just when I heard the news, I was like, "What?" And then 2 minutes later, I go on Instagram, and there's some you know how there's memes on Instagram. I was looking at those, and there was
Yeah, there are a
like
few.
one of the saddest memes I've ever seen is this guy in the description said "Rest in peace, Steven Hillenburg." I'm thinking of Stephen Cross Stephenson, and it was this. Remember the
SP.
scene
That's crazy.
from the SpongeBob movie where they sing "I'm a Goofy Goober" and they're crying because they're about to die? That was the scene, and they cry and make a heart, and then it said "Rest in peace." That made me almost cry on the bus in front of everybody. I almost cried.
Dude.
That
Yo,
hit me
I just
right in the
peeped,
feels.
right? Carl Stevenson, right? Stan Lee. What do those three names have in common?
They all have an S.
T in the beginning. Who else died this year?
Uh,
And
what's his name? Steven Hillenburg.
Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawk. Oh, true. There was actually a meme that I
The
saw.
The STs are starting to go, man. We gotta protect them.
I know, and not
Oh
only that,
God.
but you know
Tell
who?
your friend Steven you love him, guys. Tell him you love him. Tell Steven you love him.
And you know the creator of It? I forgot his name. The old man.
Stephen King.
Stephen King's about to die. Think about it. Stephen Hawking, Stephen Carl Stephenson, Stan Lee, Stephen Hillenburg. He better watch his back.
I'm just saying, anybody like Stanley, Steven, Stefan, not Sylvester.
Uh,
T. Just be
Stanley.
careful. Yeah.
Stanley as in not Stan. Spacely as in Stanley as in like flat Stanley. Like, he better watch out. He might turn into a 3D object and.
Oh no. Oh no, dude. Let's move on to our
Yeah,
next
so
one.
that was our thoughts on our best boys, but now,
We just had to pay some respects real quick. You feel me? You
yeah, like
feel?
just to enter, we had to pay respect. I mean, it's been a while, and these three fine gentlemen died, and we can't let that slide. But times are changing, and the next thing we're going to be talking about is childhood stories. We chose
You
this
can do yours
picture.
first.
We put this picture because I mean it's a pretty good childhood story. But so I've got two to represent today, and one of them is my Disney shit trip. So so I'm at
Love the
Disney,
title of that.
and I used to hate I still hate roller coasters depending on the roller coaster, but I don't as much. So I'm standing on the most childish ride, the Goofy Barnstormer, which is like the piss happy childhood ride. Like nobody, you can ride that ride and like be like, oh, this was fun for like 2 seconds. Now I'm gonna go ride some major roller coasters. But for me, as a kid who hated roller coasters, I despised this ride. Like going on it made me want to literally die. It was so bad.
wait. Hold on. How tall are you?
I'm 5'5" right now, but probably back then I was like 3 something, 2 something,
I
3
was gonna,
something.
I was gonna say you've never been the tallest.
No, I'm not the tallest. So this ride is for children under the age of 10 months. So I was piss scared of this ride. But so I'm going on the ride, right? And my family my mom is with me. My mom is like, "Dylan, are you excited to do this?" And I said, "No, but I feel like I have to take a shit." But I said I feel like I have to take a poop because I didn't know what shit was anyways. So,
Reasonable.
I'm walking, right? We're still walking, and I'm like, "Mom, I really need to go." She said, "No, that's nervousness. You're perfectly fine." And we get on the ride, and we go up the ride. We go on the we're like we do the ride, right? So my mom is perfectly fine. Like, she wrote it. I mean, it's whatever. And we're about to get off, and I said I have skid marks. And if you don't know what a skid mark is, it's when shit rubs on your underwear and leaves a brown leftovers on your underwear. And that's what I said I had. And so if you don't know where Barnstormer is, it's like all the way away from everything, and the bathrooms were being used at the time. So we had to rush from Barnstormer all the way to Pirates of the Caribbean, literally across the entire Disney. So I pretty much had to run across Disney with shit in my pants just to let it loose. And
Oh my god.
I have bowel problems. So my shits aren't like little droplets and I leave. It's a one fucking log. It's literally like if you took your forearm, cut it in half, you place it in the toilet, and it doesn't flush down. Like, it crosses the fucking hole. That is what I used to have.
God.
So when I took the shit, is this massive fucking log that went across the fucking bowl, and when my dad flushed it, it didn't go down. My dad's like,
My
"Dylan,
god.
I'm gonna
I
peer out the
remember that.
door. When I see nobody, we're running." So he put down the lid and ran. We booked it back. We washed our hands and booked it, and that's the story of shitty Disney.
Because I remember when we used to when we used to do like YouTube videos of like Minecraft on like camcorder back in the day.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and I'm like, oh, are you going pee? You're going poo, and you're like, no, I'm going poo. I'm like, oh crap. So I could like 30-minute video in between.
yeah,
I did that several times.
yeah. I know. Actually, you like took a shit multiple. Like, when we would play, you'd just be like, "All right, I'm gonna go take a shit. Be right back," and then you would come back 5 minutes later. I'm like, "I'm back." Like, you take some fast ass shits. Holy hell! And sometimes you took long ones, but I don't know.
let's yeah, let's just instead just talk about our shit. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so my story time that I forget if it was first or second grade, but it was a time I thought I caused 9/11.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. For those listening who don't know 9/11,
If you're born in a different state,
you
in a different
you
country.
probably shouldn't really be listening to this because you're like 5.
Yeah.
No, you should learn about 9/11 first,
This
right?
is
So
your dad's favorite podcast, so I mean,
dad, yeah, exactly. Your dad. This is for your dad, not you.
they have to at
So
least be 15 years and older.
exactly. But yeah, so 9/11 was September 11th, 2001.
Yeah.
Born September 4th, 2001.
Okay.
Right? So that's a week before.
Yeah.
And so I'm grade, right? I'm chilling, and then my teacher's like, "Hey, guess what? 9/11 happened. Here's when it was." And I was like, "Yo," like in my head, that I was a very stubborn child, and once my mind was made up, like no matter what evidence or facts you had, it was made up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, well, I was born, and then 7 days later, one of the greatest American tragedies in history happened.
Yeah.
and first grade me is like, dude. And so they did 9/11.
You cut out there.
And you have no idea how like I look back at it now, and I'm like, well, that was stupid, right? But at the time, I was like asking my teacher, like, oh, what can I do to fix it? What can I do to fix it? Like I legitimately thought I caused like the 9/11, like
Yeah.
the 9/11. I was like so scared that like they were coming for me. I don't know who they were, but they were coming, right?
Uh-huh.
I was like, and I was like, what could I have done in 7 days of being alive that could have triggered a whole terrorist organization to be like, all right, done. And I was like, dude, I was so scared. I was like, can you imagine, right? You think of 9/11. Now imagine, like, head reasonably that you caused 9/11. Thinking that's one of the most terrifying things, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm screaming, I'm crying, and I was asking my teacher, what can I do to make it better? And my teacher, probably the only time in her entire life, said, you didn't cause 9/11.
Oh no.
And I was like, I did. I was screaming and crying. I was like, I did. I caused 9/11. 9/11's all my fault. And I'm like, and let me get this straight. I don't think 9/11 is funny.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, one of the greatest American tragedies in the history of ever. I think it's funny that I legitimately was convinced that I was the one that caused it.
Yeah.
Baby, a whole infant, right?
Mm-hmm.
11. That to me is hilarious. It's just that kids, man, right? Like.
Yeah.
But I was just like, oh man, I'm not gonna run that story on the ground, but yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually, I figured out about other people existing, and I'm like, oh, wait, hold on, that probably wasn't my fault.
Yeah.
And eventually, I did learn that I was not the cause of 9/11, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Story.
That was a good story. And that segues straight into our next one, to our next greatest American tragedy in the entire history of America, I would say. And that is
God. Oh,
good
God.
old buddy old pal Pearl Harbor right over there.
No, dude.
But we have a theory. This is coming from my friend. So my friend, he isn't a big conspiracy theorist, but I mean he is a Republican. So I don't know. I'm not throwing pointing fingers at anybody, but
We're not going to say he's Alex Jones, but we're not going to say he's not Alex Jones.
yeah, I mean, this is your dad's favorite podcast. Who knows what he's watching? But
if your dad is Alex Jones and he's listening to this podcast,
send a shout out.
Alex Jones, please love us. I mean, he's been blocked on like
Everything.
most like websites ever.
Yeah.
But hey,
But
if you can I'd like to talk just to know what you think.
Yeah.
Anyway, good.
So yeah, but so this is all in part to Smash Bros. So our little buddy old pal over there, Smash Bros. Right? It is coming out December 7th, 2018. So this is significant because this is December 7th is the day that Pearl Harbor happened 77 years ago, mind you. So 77 years ago, Pearl Harbor was bombed. So that was a big deal in Americans' history. And right now, Smash Bros. Is probably one of the biggest deals happening the entire world right now. So, with that being said...
That might be a bit of an exaggeration, but we'll give it to you.
Yeah, but why on
December 7th?
It's
9/11 right now.
Oh, rest in peace. I mean, we literally just talked about it.
9:11 p.m.
9:11 p.m. Eastern Standard
it's all
Time.
coming together.
We have to pray real quickly. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. May God be with you and with your spirits. Alright, we're done praying. It's not still 9/11, but it doesn't matter. So
12 now, it's fine.
We got good old Super Smash Bros. That's a big deal right now, and Pearl Harbor was a big deal then. But why December 7th? Out of all the days, why December 7th? Well, There's something even crazier, right? You know how many people are going to be starring in Super Smash Bros. The day it comes out? You know how many characters are in the starting roster?
Many. How many?
77. Want to know how long ago Pearl Harbor was?
Oh my god.
77 years ago.
Wait.
Yeah.
What are you saying here?
I'm trying to say. And wait, there's even more now that I think about it. You know who makes Super Smash Bros?
Oh my god, it's Nintendo.
And you know what Nintendo is? It's a Japanese company. Who bombed Pearl Harbor? The Japanese.
Dude, that was... What the...
So think about it like this. Could they be sending a message that Japanese people are going to, bomb another part of again Pearl Harbor?
And they smashed their planes into Hawaiian ships, bro.
And wait, there's more.
It was super bad.
Do you know 2 characters that use planes in Super Smash Bros?
Oh god.
Fox and Falco, and I forgot about what's it called? Our good old pal Wolf, but he doesn't matter. There's no significance in that. I just want to let you know that's what they do. But yeah, that's see that guy little thinking down there? He's thinking. He's like, it makes all this sense. So that's my take on this Pearl Harbor.
So what do you think is really going to happen December 7th when Super Smash Bros. Drops? Is there going to be some kind of like...
Oh no, I just think it's a shitty ass thing. I thought that was a shitty ass. I punched the kid after he told me that. I was like, "Are you stupid? Get an education." So no, that's not what I did. But I actually just recently found out, for all you Epic Rap Battles of History fans, December 7th is going to be an exclusive rap battle. I don't know what it is, but December 7th is going to be the first of Season 6, which, by the way, was a childhood favorite of mine.
ERB, oh my god.
That is coming out December 7th, just to let you guys know, just to shout out that, just to watch it.
Rap Battles of History?
Yes, Epic Rap Battles of History.
It was the Wright brothers, the Mario brothers.
Oh my god. Is there some sort of sign? Oh no. We gotta hide. All Americans in Hawaii, you should probably evacuate soon. We don't want this to happen. Again. We might have to have a World War III again. We don't want that. Not yet.
The guys that do Epic Rap Battles are going to...
They are actually coordinating this. They're coordinating it.
It's all coming together, dude.
It's all connected.
It's all connected.
Yeah, it's all connected.
Does Pearl Harbor 2 confirmed?
Yeah, Pearl Harbor. I'm scared. I'm actually shaking in my britches right now. But,
Oh god. We will have to wait until December 7th.
Yeah, but you know what else is shaking me?
My britches?
College.
College.
What about you? Is it shaking your britches?
Are well and proper shook right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say too much about this just because there's really not a whole lot I can say that people,
haven't already said.
College ab season is
it's a bitch
with a side of fries, and it's like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
see, I don't really like. I'm kind of scared of college because I'm a very anxious person, just like in nature, right? So it's like being just in a completely new surrounding, because I too is in New York, right? I don't live anywhere near New York. I don't and I've been to New York twice ever. Scared,
Oh wait, you were accepted to a college in New York?
No, I might be, right?
Okay.
Like I applied somewhere early decision, and that somewhere is in New York.
Okay.
And if I get accepted there, then I'm going per the ED agreement.
Yeah.
And so, that's scary stuff, dude. Because I remember back in the day, when in middle school, just dude, what is college? Isn't that where you go to become like a doctor, and I'm just like it's not where you go to be. If you're me, it's not where you go to be a doctor. It's where you go to do other stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. Like I don't think you realize, like, especially like at this point, like I'm gonna get my decision on or before December 15th, right? And I got that news, right? Like
Yeah.
today is the 31st of November, right?
30th. So tomorrow will
30th.
be
There
your
is no
15
30th.
days of doom.
So yeah, exactly. It's like next like couple weeks, like that's crazy to me.
Yeah. That is
It's,
very
it's
crazy.
it's terrifying stuff. It's not terrifying in the way like, I don't want to. It's just like
It's
waiting game
scary
at this point.
to think
It's
about
literally
that.
just a waiting game.
Yeah, and that's kind of for me.
And so,
For me, what I did is I'm a part of an organization kind of called, it's not really an organ, it's a class called Avid. So it prepares us for college. And I think I'm prepared mentally to handle college, kind of. I'm still very scared because I'm not a very good student, and that's a problem when you are going off to college and you actually have to be a good student. So,
yeah, but
there,
there's always the fear of the unknown. Like,
yeah,
let's not kid
yeah,
ourselves.
yeah, and that's a main
You,
problem. And I'm applying to schools that are relatively close to my house, just because I don't want to have to leave home. But I'm not going to not branch out to other schools. I'm definitely not applying out of state because I just can't do out of state tuition. It isn't on in my book of stuff. But for the most part, I'm trying to stay as close to home. And I even had an on-site admission, which, if you don't know what that is a college representative comes to your school or comes to the area. You apply there and get told right off the bat if you get accepted or if you have to do something to get accepted. And I did one of those, and that wasn't as scary as I thought. I mean, it wasn't my biggest school, but it's a school that I genuinely want to go to. I don't want to say it just because, like, you might figure out where I
yeah,
am. But
confidentiality reasons,
yeah,
understandable.
but the school is in my reach, and I did it. It was all good. It felt like just a job interview. I was perfectly fine. I'm not afraid of that kind of stuff. But she then comes out with a quick one and says you need to bring in your midterms. And I'm perfectly fine with my grades right now, except for one grade, which is a D plus, and that was the first quarter final grade. So that's kind of a not very good thing. And I really wish I didn't have such a bad grade, but I mean, I really can't do anything. So, with that being said, it was kind of upsetting to hear that, but I'm not upset if I do not get accepted at college, because I'm pretty much gonna go to the kind of what's it called, the public college that is in my area that is very good. I've heard it's very good.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you know what I'm talking about.
I do know which one you are referencing.
Yeah, so
Some by a star.
yeah, so I'm probably gonna go there just because they have a really good program that allows me to get into any school in the state. So any state school.
Yeah,
So that's a very big size. If I get into that program, it's pretty much a done said deal. I'm going to do that. I don't care how long it takes me. I mean, I don't care how hard it is. I'm going to go to a college to get a degree in something, and I want to have it cheap. I'm a very cheap man. I can't be spending money willy nilly.
I don't know if it's being cheap. It's being smart about money. I don't
Yeah,
know. Well, I do know it's not a bad thing to be.
yeah, and especially during college time where you're gonna be spending a shit ton of money, and you may never
Exactly.
pay it back, which is another problem. But
Yeah, it's insane.
yeah,
It's scary stuff. It really is. But and there's also and like
yeah,
expectation of the college experience and what it might be like, and like I feel like that's one of those things where prepare yourself for what you think is going to happen,
hmm
but you'll almost never be right. When you're
yeah,
thinking like, oh, this is how these people are going to be, and that's how these people are going to act, and classes are going to be like this, and this, and
Yeah,
you never know until you're actually there, and you're like, oh, this is
college is a
probably nothing.
college is a personal experience that you can't just be like told how college is. You can be said, oh, how these are how certain kids are feeling during college, like these are how their experiences are, but you can't judge a college by how kids' experiences are. You have to judge it on how you experience it as a kid. So that's another big problem, that kids in high school don't know how college is until they get in and they realize either it's really difficult or it's very easy.
Yeah, exactly, because there are a lot of people that go in expecting like get a degree, and then just like drop out like a month later, just like, yeah, no, I can't do this.
Yeah, and I mean that's not bad. It's a waste of money, but it's not bad. It college isn't for everybody, and I can understand that. I wouldn't be surprised if I dropped out. Now, will I drop out? Probably not. I would try to stay in. I'm not a big kid who doesn't skip classes. If I'm going to have to pay for something, might as well go do it. There's no point in stopping.
Yeah.
But if I don't feel like I am right for this college, then I will just not be in college. I'll just drop it. I just won't do it next semester. I won't sign up next semester. But I plan on not doing that. I plan on staying 4 years, get an associate's, and go 2 extra years for masters in either computer science or history, U.S. history to be exact. What about you,
Call me my name.
Andrew? I didn't want to call you your
Yeah.
name. Confidential. I almost called you Alex, but it wasn't your name.
I mean, I've been calling you Dylan multiple times on this podcast because it's your name.
Yeah.
As if giving away our first names, which are two very, very like
Confidential things. Yeah.
two extremely common names in our neck of the U.S.
Yeah.
Just like yeah.
Yeah, but what are you trying to
And
are you trying to major in anything or
I'm pursuing journalism
okay.
because I'm really good at that. I'm currently editor in chief of my high school newspaper, and pretty much the only thing, not gonna lie, it's the only thing I'm good at. I'm a kind of like a writer in nature. I'm good at writing.
Yeah.
Not the best at talking, which is like because I stutter a lot. There's no way you haven't heard on this.
Yeah. I've learned not to
Why?
stutter.
That's why I write instead of talk, and I feel like I can make a career out of that. So we're just gonna go for it.
Yeah, but what kind of company are you trying to be, like a small writer for like a small town newspaper, or like a big writer for like the internet and become a major type of thing? And like what are you going to try to write in, like political topics, or maybe
I
like a
was I was planning on majoring in sports communications,
okay. And
and that's
I know you're a big
like sports
baseball
media.
fan, so
Then honestly, I don't really care what sport it would be though. Like, because I think covering a sport would be one of the most fun things. Like, I
yeah.
don't really know the ins and outs of that, and that's the kind of stuff you learn when you're taking those classes.
Yeah.
But it's like I feel like that would be something like I would find to be not only interesting but so much fun.
Yeah.
Just like imagine following around like if you're like completely wrong, and every sports journalist in the world can be like, "Oh, kid, you know nothing. You're stupid. Shut up." This is what I think, right?
Yeah.
If you get like assigned to like a sport or a team, right, you become the specific, insider for the who won a championship recently, the Boston Red Sox. If you get assigned for that team and you follow that team and you like build a connection with that team, I feel like it would just be so awesome because then you get like excited to learn stuff about that team first.
Yeah.
And that'd be so cool to like break that, like, hey guys, look what I found. I found that they're gonna sign X, Y, or Z or trade X, Y, or Z. And I think that'd be super cool to be like, if
Yeah.
someone says sources say to be that source, really awesome. Just like, hey, look what I did.
Yeah, and be like important. Like people will be like, "Oh, this source, this very valuable, like important uh what would they call it? This valid source, I would say. Verified source.
Edible,
It,
edible.
Yeah. Do you want to be a credible source, not a corrupt source? Would you want to
I
believe?
want to be I want to be a massive liar, Dylan.
I mean, that's what I am. No, but
I'm gonna go into sports journalism and say like, yep, the Boston Red Sox have signed LeBron James. You heard
yeah,
it here first.
credible.
The Cleveland Cavaliers have signed Tom Brady on a 20-year, $85 billion contract.
Hmm. And that actually seems like really fun. But I'm not a big writer. Like I don't really like. I mean, I don't enjoy writing, but I also don't hate writing. I like writing. Writing's fun, but I'm not very good at it. And
And hey, yeah, it's like if you like when it comes to jobs, like you want like first like you want to be good at it, right? Like enjoying it is a real nice plus, but like you gotta obviously in the nature of a job, you gotta be good at it, or else you're gonna get like canned, right?
yeah,
And I think combining my love for sports just in general, like I've like even over the past couple years, I've grown like a real fondness for soccer,
yeah,
or yeah, like and I don't know,
yeah,
I'd be willing to branch out in other sports. Like I have interest, like sports alone, just the concept of them are interesting to me. Just like the competitive nature of it,
yeah,
and just two teams with like people that have been working all their lives to get to the point that they're at. Just that idea of like those like groups of people battling it out, to me that is so cool. And
yeah,
like behind the scenes stuff about that, like I'd really like to know it before other people, and I'd like to be the one that figures it out.
yeah. And
Do this for me.
that is something like with me. So I've always loved American history. Like American history is probably my favorite topic to learn of all time. And I mean, we were in an American history class, both together in 7th grade. So
Remember that,
yeah,
dude.
that was probably one of the most interesting classes that I ever took. I liked
What
enjoying
did you
learning
learn
about
about?
the Civil War and that time period during which the Civil War and the World War II happened. I love that time period. In between that time, I love Reconstruction. I love all that. I love the 1920s. I like the Great Depression. I like learning about that. My least favorite is World War II, which always seems to be everybody's favorite. That is just my least favorite to learn. It's just too common of a thing. My favorite thing to learn is definitely like Revolutionary War. I like learning how we were built as a country. We like how America went from being the bitch boy of Europe to
Bitch boy to the big boy.
the big boy in campus. Like we beat Europe. Like how the fuck did we do that? We shouldn't have done it, but we did, and that's so amazing to me. And what is also amazing is the Vietnam War. I love the Vietnam War. It's one of my favorite wars to learn. I know so much about it because of how cool it is.
The
It was
people back
this
then did not love the Vietnam War.
no, nobody fucking loved it. It was like the shittiest war anybody could have ever fought. Like people were like, they literally a couple years earlier just went like we were in World War II, and everybody was like, "Yeah, we're gonna go beat those Nazis, those fucking Japs, fuck those guys." Pearl Harbor. I mean, they're going back to like whatever fucking we fucking hated those cunts. But Vietnam, everybody's like,
Big jabs.
Why do
No
this?
concern.
What is the big deal? And that's why and also just that area, just like learning about. I like that whole entire aspect of guerrilla warfare and all that kind of stuff. It's just
Yeah, learning about like the Viet Cong like battle mechanisms and like how they went about like fighting that war.
yeah,
That to me is one of the coolest things.
yeah. I went. We were on vacation down to some place in North Carolina, and there was this big fucking battleship, and right next to it was this Vietnam like memorial, like living in Vietnam kind of sort of. It was like a little tour through Vietnam, and there was gunshots, bomb
Oh God.
explosions with real life helicopters, by the way, real life airplanes, helicopters, boats, like a whole bunch of
Damn.
shit. And that was the coolest thing to me. I love that. Like, if you've ever seen Tropic Thunder, a movie based very loosely on the Vietnam War, was one of my favorite movies. I really still need to see Full Metal Jacket. I haven't seen that movie. I really need to see that, but I just love that time period. American history's always fascinated me about how we came to be today as dumb as we are right now, I like learning about how dumb we were before. I mean, it's true. But enough said about college. Next thing we should probably talk about is
way more important than anything we've ever talked
much
about.
bigger battle than Vietnam, World War II.
You want to talk about Vietnam, World War II, World
Revolutionary
War
War, fucking Civil War, none of that. Like, this is for real.
All right, so let's get this out of the way. I am firmly on the side of the waffle.
If I'm going to be honest with you, I'm also on the side of the waffle because waffles can't be beat. I mean, I like pancakes, but pancakes are like a special occasion with eggs and bacon. Like waffles, you can have all the time. Just carry that shit around like one of those Eggo my Legos.
You can't I could count. I can't count the number of times because there's so many. But I just woke up in the morning on a school day. My freezer pulled out a box of Eggo, and just toaster and just slammed that down. I was like, dude, I'm not eating an Eggo waffle. Like, this is tough. And I'd have my butter and my syrup, and I'd oh, dude, it was like. You cannot toast pancakes. And that's the thing. I like toast. I'm eating a lot of bagels right now.
Yeah.
A quick thing, just a quick breakfast, right?
Yeah.
And it's I thinking about it, I really want Eggo waffles, but that's besides the point. Waffles are much easier to make, right? They're so much easier.
And
with pancakes, you gotta either take them out of the bag and put them in a microwave, make a batter,
take your
and then
time.
put it on you gotta put it on the freaking, what's it called, pan or pot, or it's not a pot, it's a pan. And you gotta flip it and all that. You get yourself a Belgian waffle machine. As long as you can just put the batter in the machine.
Mm-hmm.
Does it, and it just makes the waffle, and then the waffle's out, and then you're just oh yeah, here's my freaking waffle. This is the best.
Yeah, and I mean, pancakes are good if you're oh, you know what? I'm out. I don't want to get a waffle. I can make a waffle at home. I should get a pancake. Pancakes are good.
No.
On special occasions.
They're good, but I'm sorry. I go to IHOP and I order Belgian waffles.
I order pancakes. Actually, I don't even order. I order toast because I like to put eggs on toast. Oh my god! But I don't want to get into this. Is not toast. This is pancakes versus waffles, and pancakes are good.
This is its own battle.
Pancakes are good when your parents are making them in the morning, and you're like, you know what? Can't argue with this. It's a pancake.
It's nice Sunday morning breakfast. You're chilling with the fam. You're all at the breakfast table.
It's a good. I'm gonna drink it with orange juice.
Apple picking, and we're gonna do mani pedis.
Yeah.
You make a waffle.
Making a waffle is more I'm gonna make a waffle, and it's gonna be good. I'm gonna enjoy it, and I'm gonna enjoy it whenever I want. But pancakes are good on special occasions. You can't have a pancake every single day. With a waffle, you can have it in. It's just one of those everyday good old foods. Pancakes are oh, you gotta have it on a special occasion, your birthday. You don't have a waffle, you have a pancake. You have pancakes on Christmas. Well, I don't know about that, but still, you don't make a waffle. At least I don't. I've always made pancakes on special occasions. Waffles are in every vacation things. It's like a vacate. I go. When I'm on vacation, I eat waffles. Waffles are so good on vacation. I'm a waffles person.
And there's something just so badass about a waffle, right? If you look at the graphic that's on your screen now, right?
Yeah.
look at that mean motherfucker, right? He doesn't even have a mouth.
I mean, he does.
And he already
looks like quality. He's got a knife.
Yellow frown, yeah. So here's the thing, right? I believe. And hear me out here. Let me explain this. I believe that waffles are better than pancakes. I believe that waffles are super pancakes.
All right.
And I believe that is because they are physically stronger, as seen they are pancakes with very well defined abs.
Oh,
right?
true.
Let's say
Yeah.
you went to war, right? And your backpack had to be a waffle or a pancake. Don't ask me why this situation came up where you only have that as the choice for your backpack, but you had a waffle and a pancake, right?
Yeah. I would choose waffle.
Significantly more practical to use because of the little pockets it has. So if you have like grenades and stuff, you can just like bag down your waffle like pack and then just take the grenade out and just chuck it and you have like grenade. But what are you gonna do like with a pancake backpack? Like nothing can like hold it.
You know what's so great about waffles? Waffles don't get soggy fast. Pancakes get soggy fast. Waffles, they carry it in their fucking pockets. They're like, you know what? I'm gonna get soggy right now. It's good because you don't have a soggy waffle. Pancake, if you place that on the water, it's soaking up water. It's soaking up water, turns all mushy, it's gone. Waffles, at least they'll survive a little bit. And I mean, like I like seeing in the morning pockets filled with syrup. You know, in
The
a
syrup
waffle.
pockets, literally the syrup pockets is my favorite thing about waffles versus
Same thing with
pancakes. Like
butter pockets.
it
Oh
keeps
my god.
like you could the waffle is designed in a way that you could split up different parts of it. Like you could make a quarter of a waffle a different like flavor. Like you have like syrup and butter, and then like some other kind of syrup and some other
Berry,
like you could, like fruit
berries.
in it. You can do all kind of stuff.
And you know what's so great? You know what's
Right,
I think the
and then
best thing
you
about
can
a
do shit
waffle?
with pancakes.
Yeah, you know what's the best thing about a waffle?
That's everything.
After you've completed everything, all that hard, terrible work, you get to feel that crunch.
Oh my god, the crunch, dude.
The crunch
Dude,
is the best.
imagine eating a crunchy pancake. Oh my god.
That's literally just cereal.
Sure, we'll run with it.
I mean,
Dude, oh god.
but it's like
Waffles, I think that
I gotta
we,
have one.
we we in America are going to have a civil war because there are people that will fight me that pancakes are easier, and I'll give them the benefit of that. Right? It is easier to make a chocolate chip pancake than it is a chocolate chip waffle.
No, it isn't.
I mean, it isn't.
You can
But it's
put
like,
chocolate chips inside of a waffle maker, turn that bitch over, wait 2 minutes, and there you go. You don't have to do any work. But with a pancake, you have to like flip it. You have to do a whole bunch of shit. Now, pancakes taste better when they don't have anything on it. But come on, it takes like 10 minutes to do a pancake. The waffle takes two.
yeah, a plain pancake is better. But if you make a plain pancake, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, you gotta have other shit. But with a plain waffle, I mean, yeah, it's kind of bland. That's why you put syrup. It's got pockets. It's supposed to hold that shit in. You go around, you flip it upside down. Pockets are gonna keep it in. It's got like an invisible barrier.
Dude, like, oh man, like,
Waffles are so good.
this,
I'm about to go to the store tomorrow and buy
waffles,
some.
the waffles are far superior designed. About them is better. All right.
Yeah. Oh shit. Oh god. Oh, that leads us to our next one.
This is our segment on
Flipnote Studio.
Flipnote. Now,
that was that was a shit segue. But yeah, so this is Flipnote Studio. If you
we were gonna
didn't
talk
grow up
about
with a DSi or 3DS now, because it technically has one. If you didn't grow up with a DSi or DS, and no wait, a DSi to DSi XL to yeah. I mean, if you didn't grow up with that, it's perfectly fine. But come on.
I mean, you probably don't really deserve to have an opinion, but
Yeah, but if you grew up with a DSi like I did and a DSi XL, I mean, come on. You were on this.
I remember that was like, so I love YouTube now, right? Like, I love YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I can watch like videos all day, right?
Yeah.
When I had a DSi, YouTube wasn't really a huge thing like it is
YouTube
now,
was
right?
just a little baby boy.
My YouTube, my initial YouTube, like Flipnote Hatena was my first YouTube,
Yeah.
right? There was this guy called Anthony, right?
Uh-huh.
on Flipnote Antenna, and he had this like over 300 part. I think it was over 300 part series called Stupid Mario Bros.
Yeah.
If anyone's ever gonna remember that, if you do, then props to you. You're a god amongst men.
Uh-huh.
But he would like voice all these characters, and he had like Mario and Luigi and Kirby, and just like this really well thought out storyline, just like in Flipnote.
Yeah. Flipnote.
And
I used to watch I I used Flipnote and would watch the basic like 6 fucking videos. Like I used to create them. I would never upload them. I just created them for my leisure. I was never good at them. In fact, I was shit. But still, I thought it was so much fun. I loved it. And
so Flipnote Antenna, Flipnote was also the first kind of like TikTok kind of thing, right? Or like Musically or Vine, right?
yeah,
If you remember correctly, right? Did you ever use Flipnote Antenna, Dylan?
kind of. I tried accessing it. It just never worked for me. But what I
So
did,
let me explain, right? So what I mean by this, right? So there were, you know how in like for let's use TikTok as an example, right? You know how there was like the like hit or miss, I guess they never
yeah,
miss. And so back then it was like, do you like waffles? Yes, I like
yeah,
waffles.
I
Do
used
you
to
like
watch those
pancakes?
on the YouTube. I used to watch YouTube more than this, but I would watch Flipnote videos
What, dude?
on it.
Flipnote videos. It was always like, it was that, and it was like the one where it was like work it harder, make it better, and
Yeah,
there were like thousands of those, and I'm like, wait, it's like Flipnote was the first YouTube, it was the first Vine, it was the first Musically,
it was
it
the
was the
first
first
everything.
everything, dude. Flipnote was a internet media
Phenomenon.
pioneer. It was a pioneer. It
It
is
was it was so much fun.
Antenna is the grandfather and
Now,
the legend of everything that is video media on the internet today.
now that is, but I mean, like that is all good and all, and I believe that. Like I used to watch it all the time, but you can't deny that miniclip was well, not miniclip, but like flash videos were the thing before, but this took a lot in part. What made this one even better is that it took actual raw talent. You only had a certain amount of slides, so you had to do an
True.
entire story
If
in a
you
certain amount of slides.
if you made a good plot out of a Flipnote video, like you were good,
And you had
right?
to
Like
draw every slide.
exactly. Which was why like I was so impressed with like Anthony's Bros series.
Yeah,
It's animated and like the facial expressions. And I'm just like, wait, how the hell did this guy do this? I can barely make a stick figure animation.
yeah. And
Um,
this this in turn, I mean, like I remember this picture right we're watching. I mean, this is an edited version, but this wasn't as gory. He would just hit his butt and he would go over. This mesmerized me. This used to. I mean, like I would be watching this video the entire time, and the other one where it's like the people marching. Like I would pull it up and watch it on YouTube, but I don't want to do that right now. But it was the one where it's kind of got like the harmonica in the background, and it's then just walking, and then this elephant steps on a dude, and he fucking like he goes upside down like a fucking one of those accordions, not an accordion. Weird Al Yankovic, he plays like
that would be an accordion.
that is an accordion. Okay, I thought an accordion was one of those fucking big ass pianos. Um, but yeah, it's just it mesmerized me. I loved watching them because some of them are so smooth. And how the fuck do you make it so smooth on a DS? How?
Yeah, but it was literally like the only way you can make these Flipnotes was on a DS with a DS pen, and unless there was some other way that like fifth grade Andrew wasn't really hip to. But I
It
mean,
is shit. It is hard to do that. And if you are talented at Flipnote, you're a god among men. I mean, I appreciate what you did. You were like the first form of entertainment for us children in the early 2000s. 2000, like
yeah.
when YouTube was literally just a little baby boy. Like
People
Smosh
made
wasn't
fun of you
even
for watching
invented yet.
YouTube.
Like Smosh was probably just starting to put out its first couple videos. Which, by the way, did you know that Smosh's like parent company was had been like filed for like bankruptcy or something like that.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, let's not talk about it. But
Dude, we could do a whole video on like the current YouTube state.
yeah, but
That's for
that's
another time.
for another time. So
How long has this been? Wait, we should probably wrap this up. It's been a good minute.
okay, so let's go on to our next one. This is
Yes.
the final one.
So basically, right? Let me explain what's going on here. So we never, when this movie Chicken Little came out, right? We weren't old enough to have an opinion yet.
Yeah.
So we're doing a review on it now.
Yeah. So
Literally now we are just reviewing Chicken Little.
We have, by the way,
you don't get context, bitch.
by the way, we didn't watch this movie like right before we recorded this. We're literally going in with previous knowledge. I'm not sitting through a fucking Chicken Little movie just to do a review on it at the end of our podcast. So
for your dad.
For your dad. I mean, your dad never watched this.
Your dad doesn't care.
Your dad probably was beating his wife when you were watching this. I mean,
so your dad took you to see Chicken Little,
and then probably like fucked your mom, leaving you there. And
okay, all right. Let's not.
That's kind of sorry, my bad. But
I don't know if there was a baby boom after the Chicken Little movie premiered, but we won't go into that. I mean, there's nothing to go into.
We are not going to look up that information. But
yeah.
But in all seriousness,
let's run through the plot real quick, right?
So pretty much, let me explain. I mean, when did you last see it?
You sound like you've got a good grasp, so we're gonna let you go for it.
Yeah. So pretty much, there's this little fucker, Chicken Little, literally running amok around town, thinking the sky is falling, telling all the people. All the people are literally freaking out, like, "Oh my god, my house insurance! I can't make that any higher than it already is." So everybody's freaking out, running around, and they just turned out it was like a fucking like I don't even know what it was. I think it was just like a fucking something hit him on the fucking head.
It was an acorn.
It was it was an acorn. Yeah, it was. It hit him in the fucking head. He was freaking out, and everybody's like, "You know what? You're a disgrace." And they go up to his dad.
The entire town started to bully him.
Yeah,
like they had his face on billboards.
Yeah,
and
this is a year later, and they have billboards saying this fucker ruined everything. He's the laughingstock. They even made a movie on him. And yeah, but in all seriousness, I mean, this kid is getting literally. I'm surprised he didn't commit suicide yet. I mean, this kid is literally.
He was in what, like middle school, high school, like.
Yeah, he was in middle school, and he's getting totally. And his dad, even his dad is like, "Yeah, you're a disappointment. Like, you have to fuck up so hard to think your dad, to have your one and only parent, by the way. He doesn't have a mom, he doesn't have a sister, he doesn't have a brother. He has 3 fucking friends, a fat pig, and a duck, and then a fish. I mean, you have to have life to have those kinds of friends. Your dad hates you, everybody hates you. I mean, you're screwed. But then one night he's getting bullied in school, and then one night he's just kind of hanging out in his room, and the literal sky fell. It was like this technological like piece of shit, and he sees the sky, and he's like,
That's the point there. He was doing really good at baseball.
Oh yeah, and he was doing really good at baseball.
I don't remember if that's a huge part of the plot, but he did really good at baseball one time.
Not really.
So even though he started to run down the third base line, eventually it kind of worked out for the better.
Yeah, but it was very odd, and he was freaking out, but he didn't want to make a big scene because he didn't want to look like a fool. And his friends came, and then he went out with his friends to the fucking literally running around town with this. And then they fucking see a spaceship, and they go inside, and the fish dude goes inside, right? And this fish dude is literally like, if you've ever seen Penguins of Madagascar, like, he's a penguin from Penguins of Madagascar. Like, he's one of those fuckers that is ninjaing around And yeah, he goes
Skip for my
inside,
son.
and they see this little alien. And also, there's like these like Megamind looking. Oh wait, no, that's what's it called? No, not Megamind.
Megamind?
Monsters versus Aliens, like those squid-looking creatures. That's pretty much what you're seeing. And the fish finds this little hairy ass alien, and they take him away. And so pretty much the rest of the time, like this is where it gets fuzzy for me. Uh, they like run around and they're trying to keep this alien from dying, and they give him to his parents, and that's about it. He runs amok, and that's pretty much it. So that's Chicken Little.
No, so they found a little alien dude, and then the parents got like pretty pissed, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the parents launched like this big ass alien attack on the town, right?
Yeah. And everybody
So
thought
it was like,
he was insane,
and
but
then
he's not.
and then, dude, like I have your son, right? And then the parents are like, hey, all right, bet, like give me my son back, please. And then they were like, all right, yeah, cool. Like, can you like stop like destroying us, please? And they're like, yeah, no, it's fine. And so they gave him back, and then he was like a hero.
That's about it. That's
Yeah,
Chicken Little for you if you're.
that's Chicken Little. I thought my personal thoughts on the movie. That well, first of all, he's trash at baseball, and he got lucky a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I think my favorite scene, like forever, will be when the duck and the pig. I forget the name. No, it was Abby. What was the pig's name?
Morton, I don't fucking know. Morton seems like it'd be his name.
No, Runt. I don't know why I
Runt.
think it would be Runt. Was it Runt?
Yeah, it is Runt. Because he was the
Yeah.
runt of the litter.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was. Despite being a big, chunky boy, he was Runt.
Yeah.
Where Abby and Runt were doing like a karaoke type deal, and it was like tell me what you want, what you really really want. And I was like, when I was a kid, I got really into that part because I watched that movie several times, right? Because
Yeah, I mean, everybody did.
yeah, that's how you entertain your kids, right? You put movies in front of them. And so I was like, yo, I want Chicken Little. And I was like, all right, cool. Here's Chicken Little. And every time it would be like, go on, I would like start screaming, oh, tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, really, what I want.
What I want.
And I got like so psyched. I was like so happy.
Yeah.
The movie. I don't really have an opinion about the rest of it. I just wanted to say that I really loved that part of that movie, and that's my piece.
I think my only. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a real opinion on it. I think it's a good movie. I mean, for it being the first 3D Disney movie, it's not half bad. It's still bad, but it's not bad. Like, I mean,
It's not half bad. It's like 3/4 bad.
yeah, it's bad, but it's not bad. But in all seriousness, like
worse. Not much worse, but it could be worse.
The only scene that still resonates with me today is the scene where Runt is like so scared he breathes in a bag really fucking
That's
fast.
me thinking about college, honestly.
Yeah, that's it. I wish we had that GIF. I don't, but that is probably the funniest fucking scene in my opinion. Like, I mean,
He had like a barf bag that he was breathing into, and then it wasn't enough, so he just like took out another one.
Yeah.
And started breathing into both of them. Alternatively, I don't know how he did that. I don't know how he like separated his lungs from like one would breathe and then another. Like I don't know how he did that, but that's fine.
But whatever the case may be, I don't know why that scene is so funny to me, but that is my thoughts on Chicken Little. And
yes. On that note, I think it would be a good time to wrap up this podcast. It is time for this episode. I think this was better. It was more organized, but
much more organized. I mean, we even had cool fucking not staying on one picture the entire time. I mean, we had the Froggy picture, but I mean, we varied it up. This is the main picture of the entire series, the entire video today.
This one, yeah. I'm just saying. Hopefully, it'll not be 3 months before we post again. Hopefully, we'll get better at it.
Hopefully, we'll be posting sometime soon. I mean, I'm lucky that I had this Friday off work, but other than that, I think this was a good video. I
think we will call it here. Thank you so very much for
watching this.
If you did, don't know why you would have, but if you did, you're an absolute god, and I love you.
Yeah. That's my
And
kiss.
I guess I bet he doesn't kiss you. Mwah.
Shh, please.
It,
Please.
all right. I hate myself for that. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you should.
This podcast. I need it. So we'll
So I think we
see
should.
you in the next one.
Well, yeah. Have a great night. Have a great rest of your night, dads and sons and dads and dads. All right. Peace out.